What was this post? I had this post somewhere. Yeah, right. So essentially, I've seen like multiple videos done on this. It's very funny because this is the same fucking excuses people use for Black Myth Wukong, like in 1 hour increments. So like whenever people do bring up specifically Steam stats, you know there might be a bit malicious when they're talking about this. All right, so let's see. Final Fantasy 14 player count reached the lowest point in 4 years. We lost 75% of the player base. Not true. Definitely not fucking true. I can tell this by just going in game and opening Party Finder. Actually, there you go. There's still active fucking amount of Party Finder groups. This is just high end, by the way. Let me just go all, by the way. 124. That is an average normal. I don't know where you are specifically, but like 3 pages worth of Party Finder groups, like around 100, 121. Like during night, we'll have like around 50. Like at any points, it is still active. Not just rating specifically. Sure, rating is always going to be the most active, but there's multiple glams, drip, unsync for loot, whatever this is. Farm bring actions from image. Ooh, tempting. Probably I will try to do this later, but so it's like 75% is already incorrect. Because like, especially like, I know some people might say maybe it also depends on the server. I am on like Phoenix and Lich are two of the most populated servers on Light Data Center. Light Data Center is currently the most active one in in Europe, right? If there were if it was quiet, if it was difficult to find activity, the biggest places would feel it the most. If it started getting quiet, if it started, to die out, if 75% of the fucking player base left, we would have felt it the most. We would have actually noticed this. But as someone who's fairly active in game almost daily at the moment, I can tell you it's fine. Whatever the fuck these stats are. First of all, Steam charts, right? That's just Steam. People fucking hate playing 14 on Steam. The other thing is that that's looking at Steam numbers. No, exactly. This is Steam numbers. Who gives a fuck? Like, I don't use the Steam. Like, I have 14 on Steam, but I got it like in 2013 because a friend of mine wanted to play with me. I didn't buy any expansions. I just got it there, kind of bought the base game. But like right now, after like multiple reviews, I'm playing off of like the normal launcher because Steam servers are sometimes very shit and they will affect 14. Like people have gone through a lot of like problems where specifically it's Steam side and not 14 or Square Enix side. That's why I'm not gonna use Steam for 14. Okay, so let's say per se we're not gonna count the Chinese market, right? Per se, because their numbers are gonna be different because they also work off of very different versions, not the one that's on Steam. Because their version of the game is like 2 major patches behind us, so their Dawn is starting soon in China. So yeah, these numbers are already weird. Okay, let's see what are we looking at here? What's the year? 2019 to 2025. Okay, January 2025, 17,000 on average, and 2021, 18. Are these numbers similar? Hold on, am I getting this right? He's showing me 17,000, right? I'm looking at 18,000, so 2K difference. For an average, that's fine. July, that was the numbers tripled for the expansion launch. And again, this is just Steam. Lucky Banjo confirms these numbers. What is Lucky Banjo? Hold on. Lucky Banjo data shows that Final Fantasy 14 is in decline. Wait, hold on. Someone already posted this in 2023. I don't understand any of this. JP, NA, NAU. Yeah, it's not counting China as well. This seems like a bit of a stretch. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so Lucky Bancho does some research. Okay, so it's as high as midway through Shadowbringers. This is when, like, I'm guessing the last tier, or oh no, these two are when people came back for Endwalker. So it's essentially just averaging out on normal numbers when Shadowbringers were around. Does this count as a decline? I don't feel like this does. This shows 2k difference on average. With like 2k in an average kind of number, it's maybe a lot. It might be a lot across certain numbers, depending which numbers. But it's like there are months. Hold on. Yeah, this is specifically January. I don't know. It's like this information so far is kind of very mid. We haven't even gotten to the second patch, and we already lost 75% of our player base. Wait, what? 91, 22. This is across a year. Gives a fuck. Plus, this is just 1 year. This is not specifically at this point in the expansion. You are looking at the tail end of Endwalker. Yeah, essentially, so he's comparing people coming back to the game, the highest point. He's also looking at July specifically. This is when the expansion started. Okay, so he's literally all these numbers. So he's literally comparing the launch of an expansion to downtime in an expansion. That's not a very fair fucking comparison, now is it? Also, again, this is just Steam charts. It's fucking nothing. I'm not even sure where this information, but like this information seems a bit more accurate. But even then, it's just kind of like these numbers are healthy. This is good. These are good numbers. There's more population than in Shadowbringers right now. But I guess those 5... Oh, Christ. Do you think this dude just made an entire fucking thread about this specifically because out of spite for this haircut costing $5? Hold on. This feels accurate. FCs are feeling it. I wonder how low it'll be late March when 7.2 finally rolls out. Looking at the second chart with Shadowbringers and DT, it seems like, if I'm reading it right, Final Fantasy XIV has fallen back to pre-WoW migration numbers. Only I imagine you have some refugees still here, and some of the old guard that dislikes the changes brought out by those refugees, hardcore raiders, etc., have jumped ship. But you also have a lot of refugees going back to WoW since the game's gotten good, so all is forgiven with the scandal. I mean, he's not wrong, actually. Shadowbringers is when people did come in. It is true. And right now, a lot of those refugees are going back to play Classic. A lot of content creators as well are currently like in OnlyFans or some shit. What do you prefer? Pray return to the Waking Sands or speak to Wuklamud? I'm casting teleport back to my FC house. Goodbye. Story skip. Purchased. Makes you wonder how bad it's going to be by the time this expansion is actually finishing. What do you mean actually finishing? What does that mean? People love to complain about player numbers when it suits them to bolster their own argument, but really, what difference does it make if there are 1 million or 2 players or 500,000? Does that make the game more fun for you personally, or I don't know, what the fuck is this argument? You know, the majority of players for Final Fantasy XIV don't use Steam. Yes, it reflects an average, but it isn't the majority. Oh, it's by far not the majority. It is far not the majority. It is like not by a long shot, not the majority. People don't fucking want to go into one fucking launcher to get another launcher. Like that is one of the reasons I wanted to buy some Assassin's Creed games, and I'm just not buying them because it would make me go into Steam, launch that game, and then I have to launch it through the Ubisoft fucking launcher. There's nothing to say that can define the live letter release content of XD. Well, screw half our player base, huh? Doesn't count in Xbox, PlayStation, non-Steam. Actually, that is a very good point. Now that I think about it, we have Xbox and PlayStation players right now as well, not just Steam. Not even, let alone not just PC. 14 is also on Mac too. That needs to be accounted. Like these numbers are just not fucking accurate. Then this person has a really fucking good point. Like console players also need to be counted. I don't know. Let's see what Edward thinks on this. Let's actually hear the funny Cookie Monster's name opinion on this.
Has Final Fantasy XIV Online lost 75% of its player base? No. No, it
Cool. Good video. See you all next time.
hasn't. And I keep saying this, and I need to make a video on this as a quick guide of like, this is why you can't believe statistics and you can't believe what people say about them. Trying to educate people, right? This is one of those things where it ends up being someone says something online and other people pick it up and then the whole community goes on it about it, right? It's the same thing where people say like, oh, Gil's worthless in FF14. Or like, oh, Pictomancer needs to be nerfed in Savage, even though actually the problem isn't a very specific ultimate. Or like, Zeppler's a good content creator, right?
Oh, oh fuck! That caught me so off guard. I agree with his points, by the way, so far. But you have my attention. Where are you gonna go with it?
I'm gonna teach you a little bit now about how to read these stats and how they're not saying what people are saying they're saying, right? Firstly, this is the forum post. You've probably seen it. There's a bunch of people have tweeted about it. A bunch of people don't react to it. You got this here. 95,000 all-time peak. 22,000 currently. They're like, oh, the game's fallen off. We've lost 75% of the player base. That's not what this is, okay? This is not tracking like the actual people currently playing as an average. It is tracking the all-time high at a very specific point.
That's also a very good fucking point. Do we actually believe that Final Fantasy XIV has a total of 95,000 fucking players right now? And everyone else just fucking deleted their accounts. I feel like the number's a bit little. It's a bit too small.
Now you might go, okay, is there, say, an event in the game that gets every single person to try and log in and play the game at the same time around the world, regardless of their time zone? Maybe even taking time off from work to do it. It's like, oh, that's an expansion launch. And that's what these bumps are here. These are the expansion launches when everyone starts playing the game at the same time, right? But this is not actually indicative of the average. This is just everyone.
Even he's trying to kind of like hold back the giggles. Because this information is a bit like too funny. It's too funny that people are so dramatic over like very silly fucking numbers.
All playing at the same time. When it goes down to 22,000, that's completely fine. Okay, because now people are playing at their own convenient time zones. Yep. They might also be playing on their own convenient days. Some people might play on the weekends only. Some people might play during the week. Some people might play super late. It's fine. And if you look here at the graph, you can see the exact same fall off in Endwalker. Even bigger, okay? Endwalker had massive numbers of people trying to play. Trying, because the servers were on fire.
Oh yeah, remember that? Like, the servers were on fire. People literally developed weird plugins just so they could keep moving inside the game. Just because it would literally kick out any AFK players. You went AFK for too long, it kicked you out. And then you were back in queue. And the queue was like thousands. Thousands. I had to cancel so many fucking raid sessions because people were just stuck in queue. They would start logging in a good like hour early, and they were still in queue when like raid was supposed to happen. 40 minutes in, we just all gave up. It was nightmare. And people were like very like volatile about it too. It's like they see like some dude specifically like moving in a straight line in a corner somewhere. They know they like this person just put a brick on their keyboard just so it doesn't kick them out while they were at work. And then we just report them. This person's actually AFK. Kick them out. Make space for my friend. Oh yeah, Endwalker was like, I'm glad they fixed it. Like, Dawn Trail went super smoothly. Super fucking smoothly. Like, specifically the launch on a tactical base. So it's like, but Endwalker was such a shit show.
And then it fell off again. Because actually it's just going to its natural amount as people around the world adjust to their own time zone again. Right? So this is not indicative of actual average player counts because you have these super high peaks. You have these super high peaks during special events in the game. Secondly, I go down here and I go to Lucky Bancho stat and like, look at this, Lucky Bancho, the player count has fallen so low. Oh no. Oh no. I've been trying to tell people for a while now, Lucky Bancho is not reliable for new data. They might be fine for old data. We can't really 100% verify this, but we know that they're not reliable when it comes to the most recent player counts. Right? So don't trust the most recent player counts whenever they do it.
It does have a point. Essentially, it's like, maybe it's because I don't understand JP. Maybe I need to learn Japanese to actually read the fucking articles. But it's a blog spot. It's just a blog. Who actually makes these stats? How do they do their research? What is the point of that research? Like, I feel like, I don't know. Oh god. Realm Reborn, it's like, it was very tiny in comparison to what we have like during quiet time. Holy shit. But yeah, it's like, it's a very good point. I feel like maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me and him that just don't kind of trust the blog spot. Like I mainly just took a glance at it, but it's like even now when he's voicing it out, it does make sense. Like, why would we trust that source? Where do we even get their information? It's just a blog. It's not a news. It's not a website. It's like, it's just some person's blog. It's like, it's not formatted in a way where I'm supposed to take this at like face value.
And to show this, I have their old player counts, right? This is the one from Dawn Trail. Specifically, I want you to see this bit here, right? See this patch here where the player count increased? Where you go back to the old Lucky Bancho stat, and oh wow, Lucky Bancho said that the players fell off a cliff.
Wait, hold on. Are these just predictions? They are quarterly. But these seem just like predictions. He actually does have a point. Oh boy.
They said the same thing is happening in Dawn Trail. Players are all leaving in droves. No one's playing the game. Go back even further. And you go, oh wow, they did the same thing in the past as well. All right, 2021 Q3. You go to the updated stats, 2021 Q3. Look at that, massive amounts of players. And that green line over here.
You know what I think is happening? I think they're using code. Well, essentially, they programmed an algorithm to make analytical predictions. But those predictions do not have extra data that would essentially include expansion launch, Savage launch, certain event launch, live letters, anything of that sort, preparation before the patch. I feel like it's just specifically code that just kind of takes information and makes kind of drafts out predictions for the future. That's why some of these seem like it's supposed to be very low, but because it didn't know what the fuck an expansion launch is, it didn't know that it would actually be doubling or tripling that number. That would kind of make sense how they function with their data.
Disappears and turns into red. Go in further back, and you get incorrect stats again. Right? Actually, that's the other one. That's around the other way. Point is, you cannot trust them with all their recent ones. Their recent data is always way too different from the existing data. Right? Don't trust anything that is the most recent. So yeah. Anyway, I just want to get that out super quickly. Send that to someone who you've seen saying incorrect shit about the game. It's annoying when...
And again, just to clarify that one good point, this is also, it does not include Xbox or PlayStation anymore. This only includes Steam as information. We also have Mac users. We also have people who just use the normal launcher. We also have console users, both Xbox and PlayStation. So it's like, there's a number of factors to include specifically to make like anywhere close to a specific number. Like the only people who could give us that number are Square Enix themselves, specifically through account counting. Like if they would count how many like accounts are made on. But then if we're counting IDs, we also got bots. So the numbers might be a bit bigger than they need to be. So it's like it's hard to tell specifically what was like the correct number of players right now. But it's not in the decline. Listen to the funny blue puppet and listen to me. Someone who's like actively in game every day. The game is not dying. We did not lose 75%. It is just quiet. It is currently normal average time right now.
We can't talk about the actual issues causing players to leave because people are being hyperbolic about this and acting like it's absolute doomsday. The game's gone to absolute shit.
Thank you, fucking someone else fucking understands it. So many videos just literally talking about like the longevity is suffering, the game is gonna die, the devs are lazy, I fucking hate the game. Fucking we can scroll back to fucking Zeplo's Doom talking video. All of these motherfuckers just coming out just talking shit out of their asses just to like kind of cause drama. Why can't they just react to fun, cool shit like this, like me? But yeah, I do recommend more of Edrum's videos. He's very cool. He streams. He's very charming. He's very smart. So I do recommend.